This is a difficult team to face. As you can see, it is very bulky. I don't want to say stall because this and this can all do some damage, but it is very, very, very bulky, which I don't like. These guys they do not like because Gastrodon can take care of stuff that's like fast and weak, but anything with a bit of bulk, Scald's not going to do anything unless it's super effective, like Mega Aggron. But we'll see how this, checks out. He sends out a Lola Mola first, which is the standard play, a Lola Mola or a Great Tusk. Maybe even Slow King Galar if you're feeling exotic. But he gets a Toxic off against my Gastrodon. That's all well and good. I hit them with the spikes because I want to beat in Great Tusk to scald it, to death. Zapdos comes in on a knockoff. It's good, and we don't even get my item knocked off because it's the Z thing for electricity. But I heat with that because of the Kartana. I really should have volt switched there so I could reposition better, but that's in the past. Umbreon comes in, and I was predicting a Toxic. That's why I sent him the Scissor, because he blocks it, because he's Steel. I searched up is poop racist and Aryan on Google, and it didn't give me a straight answer. It just on the Google AI, it just gave me the definition of what the two words meant. I just thought that was pretty weird, because surely it should give you some sort of explanation. Anyway, Ago comes in. I don't have close combat on this thing, so I have to switch out, and I have to bring out Great Tusk, which is unfortunate. I should have predicted the curse, and I should have switched in Zapdos to roar it out, which is what I do now. I double back. He body presses. Unfortunate, but he gets the paralysis. Thank you, RNG. Gonna be running Hypnosis on a Pokemon next time just to take advantage of this good luck. It's because it's summer. Sun's out, fun's out. Sun's out, I'm taking my Zapdos out on a walk. A walk all over this team. I know, I'm just resting, waiting for a paralysis, as you do. He's wasting my PP, but we do not care. This team is here for a short time, hopefully. Not a long time. Not even a good time, but a short time. The rest, once again. And finally, it happens. He switches out now, which is a good play by him to preserve the Aggron's health, but these spikes are really doing their numbers on him. I roar the Great Tuscan. He has heavy duty bits in the Great Tusk, which is a bit weird because it resists Stealth Rock and spikes don't really do. Spikes can hurt it, but I know this is where we finally get the Scald off. Send you straight. Never mind, actually, I go for the Stealth Spikes. How odd. This wasn't like me at all. I don't know, maybe I was under the influence of something during this time, but I finally get the Scald off now. Yeah, and I think I die without leaving any spikes, so... No, he switches, and I recover. Odd by him, but I guess he wanted to preserve that, in case my Great Tusk had Stealth Rock or something. But I switch in my Great Tusk now. And he wishes, so... I Rapid Spin, which is good enough. The Rocky Helmet chip is something I really don't like. I hate facing against Rocky Helmet users. That's like the only reason why I use Knockoff. Because it completely counters, well, obviously it counters every item apart from the Z moves, but you know what I mean, don't you? It counters Rocky Helmet in specific. He gets me down to 3%, which I'm glad I invested somewhat defensively then, so I kill myself on the Alola, so I die trying to stab this boy. Poor Lando Tusk. But Zapdos comes in and I can use its Z move. Through the Protect as well. So it does block most of the damage, but, who really minds that? It's at 16% now. Volt Switch can kill this thing. But I predict it. I predict it's going to switch out. Because obviously you would if you're at 16%, so I Heat Weave instead. It chunks Angron a lot, and he keeps it in. I'm not sure why I keep calling it Angron instead of Aggron, but... It's my accent. It makes me so unique and special. My accent makes me drop one of the G's and add an N in, okay? And you just have to accept it, okay? Because you just do. You have to tolerate this, because You do, okay? And 10 billion more people who do this are being born every day, okay? So get ready for a world where you're going to grow up, your kids are going to grow up, and they're going to hear Angron instead of Agron, okay? Let me just check. Yeah, he didn't name it as Agron. Chilly reception kind of sucks. But luckily, what happens here? I die. But I can switch in Zapdos or any pivoter really, one of these three, just to do something. Or never mind, we go for the fourth option. Um, Possibly to get the rapid spin off. Yeah, to boost my speed or a calm mind. But he can go for a close combat all he wants. It's not going to do diddy squat because of my Terra Shell. Plus, thanks to him not being invested in attack, I think I can just leftovers this for right back up. So it's all good in the hood. Yeah, you can see it does that. I was kind of worried because the percentages on this are kind of weird sometimes. I don't know if any of you actually play it, but it does. It does get quite sinister. Cardana comes in. Yeah. Did you forget what the ability does, dude? But we got the V formation. It is countered by the sitting horse. If you count this as the neck, because horses sit like this. They sit in a triangle. The reason they do it is because they're big and fat and stuff, so they'd fall over. So if they sat normally like humans, because humans are the baseline for sitting, because we are, okay? Because we just are. If you question that, then you're not gonna talk to me. You're gonna talk to the big government. Anyway, he forfeits. I see that. You can't really do much with these when you got a steel type against you. But he did put up a good fight. I think he kind of fumbled when he did the Aggron die, because I can't really do much to guys who boost their physical defense. I've struggled with that a lot. Zapdos and Terrapagos are my only counters. And Zapdos is not really that good of a counter, because it's more of like support. So I can only roll them out and delay it. Delay the inevitable. As you can see, this guy's team is a little bit paranormal. It's not what you would normally see in national decks. Because these two aren't used a lot, I don't think. And the Galar version is used more than the regular Slowking. Yeah, but like, that's obvious. But the bottom half is fairly standard, so you can tell he's cooking up something good. Like he's an actual player. Let's just check his elo. RQ. Oof. That's like a whole 200 higher than me. Luckily, I get the Storm Drain, which boosts my power and lets me hit him with a powered up trump card, which did 19%, which is higher than I thought, but not good. It's like a 40 base power normal type non-stab move, so it did more than you'd expect. I predicted a grass or fairy type move, which is why I switched in the scissor. Because you'd obviously expect if everyone to use it stabs most of the time, right? But I get the U-turn off because I'm faster than Iron Hands. Because Iron Hands is stupid and fat and stuff. And Scissor is also stupid and fat, but it's slightly faster because I don't know if you know this. Bring up the chart of like the eagle and stuff. It's the micro tear shark. So it does like 21 reps, which makes it faster. But a whole lot of switching. I chip down the Slow King, but that doesn't really matter because of Regenerator. I get a Headlong Rush against a Tapu Bulu. Thank you, Grassy Terrain, for not affecting Headlong Rush. So, respect. Just hit my Indian respect button again. Hornleech, kind of sad I didn't get the paralysis off, but you live with what you get, and a missed heat wave. You do live with what you get. Great Tusk switches back in because obviously this guy just sets up hazards for days. I think I rapid spin here because it's the obvious move. Yeah, and at this point I'm like about 300 and something speed with this with a rapid spin in me, but I still switch out because I wasn't confident an ice spinner would kill this. I was expecting with a wood hammer, not really a toxic against the Great Tusk, but he predicts my U-turn. This is kind of a weird set. I think it's like a bulky pivoter, but they're just a bulky support because it doesn't have any pivot moves. But I hit it with the U-turn because I telegraphed I was going to do that and I didn't want to give more moves away. You come back in. This is just more of like a positioning game for the first half of it before I can actually start cracking into his team. Like, you know, Scrap the Squirrel. Think about it like that. If he was getting into a knot, the first half would be the hardest because as like the big shell cover, I'm not sure what you call it, but I know he has to switch or something, so I go for the sword stance. But that doesn't do anything because it's Clodsire. It's unaware of my attack burst because it is unaware of everything. It doesn't read the Daily Telegraph. It doesn't read the Sun. It doesn't read any newspapers. Name a newspaper, and Clodsire, he is unaware of it. Obviously. I'm unsure what he has for hazard removal. I think it's just Scizor, so I begin to stack stuff up in an attempt to bait in his Zapdos. Or not bait in my own Pokemon. Wow, that's genius. Why has no one done that before? But no, I want to bait in Scizor so my Zapdos can kill it. Terrapagos comes in, Terra shifts. I don't like it in the menu when you see this and it has like the I'm not sure what you call it, as its like base form and the stats are all weirded out. I think they should remove that and send it to Little Cup with the ability, by the way. Because I'm just gonna say I don't think they deserve my respect in Little Cup. I think NFA, that's fair enough. Little Cup, not happening. Okay, if you come near me and you start talking about uh some high jump kick mindfu, I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna tell you to leave my house. I'm gonna tell you. You see that bridge? Yeah. Go look over the sides. But anyway, I go for the rapid spin here because he set up two spikes and poisoned my Tusk. No, not my Great Tusk, my Tuskagos. And it was a whole lot of pivoting for nothing really. I should have just switched this in first, like Great Tusk. I'm never naming like half my team Landorus Tusk again. I'm not doing that. Zapdos comes in and he switches out, but that's good. That's good. I think he just uses heavy duty put slot, which is why he doesn't have to worry about hazards. Which, you know, Superman team, you always like to see them. Modern day Superman. Uh, waste my Z move. So, wow. Roar just to try and switch stuff up. Slowking comes out, and I get Volt Switch off because. No, I actually roar again because I was probably expecting him to pivot back into a ground type. Which makes sense, admittedly. To cut myself some slack. As you should. As you should. Everyone should be biased towards themselves. I think this game goes on for a bit longer, so I'm gonna switch into overdrive real quick. Since I have two spinners, I'm fine with sacking this. I don't particularly care. I don't particularly care. Okay, I know my voice cracked with emotion, but I don't care. You're just a tool. You're just a tool in my arsenal. I like putting things back apart and putting them back together again. If you've seen that video of that guy. But finally, his spike setter is dead, so all I have to worry about is Stealth Rock. And I sent in Landorus for once. First time this match, and I pivot into Great Tusk. He sets up rocks, and I can just spin here. There's nothing much he can do. I'm faster, I'm stronger. He EQs instead of Ruinations, which could be a misclick. I'm not sure. I get this CC off against Tapu Bulu, and my PP is looking kind of low for Headlong Rush, so I've tried to conserve it. Plus, it isn't effective against Tinglu, not super anyway. This takes spikes damage, which is good. I'm finally starting to chip this, and he forfeits. I think he could have pulled through a win here, so. But his team is very passive, and this team is more not passive. But I don't think Gastrodon would have been able to do much this game, even though it got two trump cards off. Thank you, Gastrodon, but they did like 16% apiece. They weren't the best. Let's just say this team shows off one of my guys' weaknesses, which is against bulky defensive guys, because I can't really do much to them, and my main attackers, shocker, are physical attackers. It's a balance split 3-3, but these two are not as strong as these two. Come on. When it comes to pivoting and what have you. I switch in Great Tusk, Rocky Chip, which is not good, but it shows me he's defensive at least. So it gives me some valuable info. I go for the Ice Spinner, which chunks the Ogerpon. I'm gonna go. I think Ogerpon is like a good addition to the game, to the format. because they're fairly balanced to play around because they're quite fragile, and apart from the whole healing debacle, they're decently good to play around. Much better than the Sinistras and like Yu. Yeah, much better to face against than that. Even if it's stronger, but it's just more balanced somehow. Javaco switches in, which is good for me because I can just U-turn and wreck its thing, whatever. I was kind of worried I wouldn't smash through the ability and he'd just use leftovers to regenerate. But I did. Now this is where it gets a bit bad. Is I kind of have an ice beam and fire weakness. Like the most common types. But I have to sack this. So let in the Dodon come in safely. Or let him toss come in safely. Because I U-turn again. He switches in his Lando T for some odd reason. I'm not particularly sure why, but that lets me in. That lets Gastrodon in and lets him do some stuff. And he goes for the taunt, so which is what you'd expect. You expect this to use rocks or something, but no, not at all. The Family Guy cleaning lady comes in like, no, 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 no. Rocks, unfortunate, but I get to use one on the trump card PP. These are Rocky helmet, and for some reason, trump card is a contact move for some unknown reason. No one has yet been able to decipher. But he lets in my rapid spinner because he decides to use a multi-turn move on a Pokemon with like its only threatening move to this guy is a multi-turn one, so it just allows me in, and he can't get rocks back up again for the rest of the match, which is wholesome. Zamazinta, not a fan. He goes for Stone Edge and I stay in just to kill this thing, and I have a backup for Heatran, so I'm fine with sacking this. So I got 2 EQs to take care of this bad boy. But yeah, if I didn't have the opportunity to sack this Zamazinta probably would have body pressed the rest of my team. You would have shown me the BP pill. That's brutal. Bro, when appeal equals ESL, or whatever the acronyms are. Your PSL, that's brutal. Send in the micro tear shark to cheer them up. Send in 10 billion of them. I'd have to sack someone, and it's like the least useless. That's least useful, okay? And that's Edward this time, because bullet punches aren't doing anything. Because Terrapica's probably as flamethrower if it has ice beam. For the Blizz, it's not Blizzbolt, it's Blizz Thrower, but that doesn't sound right. It has to be Fire Beam.